Hello friends, I welcome you on BYJU'S Exam Prep, India's most comprehensive preparation platform for all the engineers. All the candidates who are joining me live, just quickly confirm your presence in the comment section and tell me whether my audio visual quality, everything is okay, so that we can proceed with the session. Till you are going to report me this, let me just brief you what is the ideal duration and what is the agenda of this session. My friend, the ideal duration of this session is going to be approximately 45 minutes. And the agenda or the outcome of this session is that we are going to discuss an ultimate resource, an ultimate discussion for current affairs for all the engineers. Whether you are preparing for UPSC, that is engineering services, or you are preparing for any PSU job, or you are preparing for any other state assistant engineer job, PSU jobs, or any kind of technical, non-technical interview that you are going to face, these sessions are going to help you a lot. These sessions are conducted daily, not daily, weekly, 11 AM every Sunday. In the last Sunday, we have discussed episode 1 and today we are going to discuss episode 2. So all the candidates who are joining me live, just quickly confirm your presence in the comment section. And do not forget to like, share and subscribe the session so that more and more people are going to join us and you get all the important class notifications in time. So let us start with the session. Some of you may be joining me for the first time, so there is a brief introduction about myself. My name is Ashutosh. As you can see on the screen, I have 11 plus years of teaching experience, completed MTech from IIT BHU in 2010. I have written a couple of books on engineering ethics and power system, and these are my areas of expertise. Now, before we start discussing, Jai Hind, Pancham, Ashish Chaudhary. Yes, I will tell you how you can get the PDF of the session. The last class PDF I will share that I have not shared till now, but I will tell you my personal Telegram channel that is on BYJU'S Exam Prep. You can join that Telegram channel and you will be able to get the PDF for the last session also and the current session also. All the candidates who are preparing for GATE 2023 next year, BYJU'S Exam Prep has launched a very important comprehensive series that is free of cost, available on its English YouTube channel, that is Mastering Concept. All the important branches of engineering are covered: mechanical, civils, computer science, electrical, electronics. The complete schedule is given here. You can see what are the timings. I'm fine, Pancham. Okay, I'm fine. You can see the schedule. You can take the snapshot. Mechanical, civil and computer science, the classes are conducted 8 PM. And the days in the week, for mechanical it is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. And for civil and computer science, it is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. For electrical and electronics, the timing is 10:30 PM in the night and the days are Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday. Now all the candidates who want to get the complete PDF or the PPT of this class, you can join my personal Telegram channel that is available on BYJU'S Exam Prep Telegram channel, that is Electrical by Ashutosh Sir. You will be getting all these benefits if you join this Telegram channel, apart from getting the PDF of the complete class. Is it clear, everybody? Now let us start with the first topic. What is IDEX? What is IDEX? Now before I start the discussion, let me tell you some important points about it. See, when I say weekly current affairs, you should be very comfortable what we are discussing. Last week, what were the important episodes, what were the important news? I filter them and I see what are those areas which can be anyhow directly or indirectly useful for any of your examination, and that is what we are discussing. I will discuss some of the important issues which may be important for you if you are going to appear in any of the PSU interviews or the engineering services interviews. So these sessions you should not look upon simply as a session for current affairs. It will also give you a lot of confidence. It will give you enough idea what is happening around you, and how you should take out the important points as far as your career and growth is concerned. So let me just discuss the first point for today's discussion, that is IDEX. What is IDEX? Now this you can get a direct question in any of the examination, especially engineering services. Suppose HL is also going to take current affairs, so HL current affairs will be there, so you may find this question about IDEX. IDEX stands for Innovation for Defense Excellence. The complete meaning of this acronym IDEX is Innovation for Defense Excellence. Let us read more about it. One of the first aims of India as a nation since independence has been to achieve self-reliance in the field of defense and defense production. Now you will say, sir, why this is so important? Why you are saying this is important? Number one, it was in news in the last week. Second, what is happening in Ukraine is a direct implication that a nation is a nation in the modern definition till it achieves self-reliance in terms of defense and defense production. If you are dependent on other countries, other nations for your defense liabilities, then at the time of war, you will be in a very difficult situation. And that is why today in India, we are talking about IDEX. India is the world's largest defense equipment importer. Very important point. World's largest defense importer, and is expected to spend around 200 billion US dollars. This is just to give you the enormity of the situation. Okay. An ecosystem. Now what is this IDEX? Now this explain what is this IDEX. An ecosystem to foster means to strengthen. Now your vocabulary is also getting improved. Foster means to strengthen something. To foster innovation and technology development in defense and aerospace by engaging innovators and entrepreneurs to deliver technologically advanced solutions for modernizing Indian military. Now suppose you are getting a statement what this IDEX stands for. So first you should know the full form, and the second thing is the basic idea is modernizing the Indian military. In the recent years, the government of India has initiated various schemes like Make in India, Startup India, Atal Innovation Mission. Let me tell you, Atal Innovation Mission is going to be very, very important. Whatever examination you are preparing, whether you are preparing for HL or any other PSU where current affairs are asked, or even if you are preparing for engineering services or any other good examination where current affairs are asked, Atal Innovation Mission is going to be the very important scheme. You just keep some short notes. Whatever I am saying is important, you just put it down and you can read more and more about it on the internet. It is available. Okay. To encourage innovation and entrepreneurship in the Indian commercial ecosystem. This has also made increasingly evident that achieving the goal of self-sufficiency for the Indian military will require a means to incorporate innovation rapidly in the weapons procurement process. Ministry of Defense aims to create an ecosystem which fosters innovation and encourages technology development in the defense by engaging R&D institutes, academia, industries, startups, and even individual innovators. Everybody just tell me in the comment section, are you comfortable with this? What is IDEX? More than this is not required. If you want to read some more, you can go to the government website, Ministry of Defense, and you can read more about it. But this is the crux which you should have and you should keep in your mind if you get a question on this. So just tell me in the comment section, are you able to follow? Everybody? Let us see the second issue. The second issue is a scheme for strengthening of pharmaceuticals industry. Now why this is important? Because of the recent pandemic and the problems as a nation we have faced, pharmaceutical is going to be a very important category where you will see a lot of good initiatives being taken. One of those initiatives is a scheme for strengthening the pharmaceutical industry. Atmanirbhar Bharat envisages self-reliance in terms of healthcare products, among other things, for people of India. In this context, the Department of Pharmaceuticals is supporting the pharma industry to enhance manufacturing capabilities, so that we are not dependent or over dependent on other players in the market. By increased investments in greenfield projects through production linked initiative scheme. The following 3 sub schemes are already approved in the Department of Pharmaceuticals as part of a scheme for development of pharmaceutical industries. So this 3 schemes are already approved. What is number 1? Assistance to pharmaceutical industry for common facilities. Just a moment. I'm not getting your comments. Yes. Just respond in the comment section so that I can get to know whether you are able to follow or not. Yes. Now see, in small exams like HL, they are not going to ask you what are these 3 initiatives which are already approved. But when you talk about engineering services, you can get a direct question in terms of number of statements. For example, APICF, you don't need to remember its full form. Whenever UPSC is going to ask this question, he will give you the complete statement. Just you need to relate it. If you are able to relate it, you will be able to answer it. The second initiative is Pharmaceuticals Technology Upgradation Assistance Scheme. Number 3, Pharmaceutical Promotion and Development Scheme. The scheme shall have 3 components or the sub schemes. Now what are these 3 schemes about? That is explained in this slide. Assistance to pharmaceutical industry for common facilities. It stands for to strengthen the existing pharmaceutical clusters capacity for their sustained growth by creating common facilities. Now what is this pharmaceutical cluster? Okay, this is something, if you want, you can read on Google. What is this pharmaceutical cluster? Actually, the manufacturing of pharmaceutical is divided into various clusters, and in India right now you can see what is the current situation, how many clusters are there, and how many of those clusters were deeply involved during the COVID situation. So this is something general knowledge. If you are interested, you can have. Otherwise, you just stop here. Second one, the Pharmaceutical Technology Upgradation Assistance Scheme to facilitate MSME, micro, small and medium pharma enterprises of proven track record to meet national and international regulatory standards. Number 3, Pharmaceuticals and Medical Devices Promotion and Development Scheme to facilitate growth and development of pharmaceutical and medical devices sectors through study and survey reports, awareness programs, creation of database and promotion of industries. Is it clear, everybody? Oh my God, Pancham, don't get emotional, otherwise I will also get emotional. Okay, keep your emotions. Let us see the third point. The third point is about power foundation. Now, all the engineers who belong to electrical engineering, this is going to be one important area where they can expect a question, directly a question in the various interviews, whether it is PSUs or whether it is UPSC. Power foundation, what is this? We'll understand. Power foundation told to develop roadmap for decarbonization. Now the name itself tells you what is decarbonization. You must be knowing the fact that most of the power generation in India is dependent upon the conventional thermal power plants, and the basic source for the power as an input power or the energy is coal. Now because of this coal being used as a source, lot of carbon and other dangerous, hazardous elements are released in the environment, which have long-term and immediate and short-term damaging effects on the environment. In order to avoid that, Power Foundation as a body, it is focusing on decarbonization, so that the amount of carbon which is released in the atmosphere or the environment can be reduced. The Power and the New and Renewable Energy Minister, Mr. R.K. Singh, has asked the Power Foundation to undertake studies to prepare for a strategic roadmap for decarbonization. The foundation has also been asked to develop a roadmap for energy transition in the short, medium and long-term range. Now let us talk about Power Foundation. The Power Foundation is going to take studies on accelerating hydropower development in India, developing a strategic roadmap for decarbonization in India, the relevance of flue gas desulphurization. Now this is one important technical term which can be asked in your exam or interviews. As an alternative in meeting the environment norms, large scale integration of RE and roadmap for energy transition for the country in the short, medium. RE means renewable energy, okay? RE means renewable energy. Short, medium and long term. Power Foundation is a registered society with an aim. Okay, something I have missed. Let me just give you in brief what is this Power Foundation. Power Foundation, you can understand, is a society, is a body which helps in taking the policy decisions with respect to the energy transition. Energy transition means right now India is much more dependent upon the thermal power plants. So we need to take a transition so that we can inculcate more and more about the new energy resources we have, whether it is wind, whether it is solar, whether it is nuclear, whether it is hydro. Hydro is not new, nuclear is not new, but they are not in the conventional energy resources form, because in terms of Indian story, the dependence is much more on coal and we need to shift from that. So Power Foundation as a body, it acts as a, you can say, facilitator in terms of policy decisions, and it guides the future plans what the Indian power industry is going to follow. Let me just give you some idea what is this technology, and this is especially important for electrical engineers because they can get a direct question when it comes to the power generation, that do you know about any alternative approach as far as reducing the environment damage from the power plants is concerned. So one of that technology is flue gas desulphurization. What is that? Flue gas desulphurization is a removal process of sulfur dioxide from the flue gas emission. What is flue gas? Let me just give you some idea because you may belong to some other engineering background. In the power station, heat is acquired from the coal, and that heat actually increase the temperature of the water in the boiler so that vapor is generated, and that vapor actually acts as a medium to transfer this chemical energy into the electrical energy with the help of turbines. But when we are burning the coal from that plant, some gases are emitted, that those gases we are calling as, in short, in simple terms, we are saying flue gases. Often chemically, sulfur dioxide in gases is produced by the combustion of fossil fuels. So when you combust the fossil fuels, you get sulfur dioxide, and many industrial processes such as gasoline refining as well as cement, paper, glass, steel, iron, copper, etc. Sulfur dioxide emissions are a primary contributor to the acid rain. Now this is how you get a question in engineering services. Are you getting this? What are the two gases important for the acid rain? Can you tell me in the comment section? Apart from SO2, there is one more gas which is a contributor, a great contributor in acid rain. Can you tell me? And have been regulated by every industrialized nation in the world. The flue gas desulphurization process vary depending upon the amount of SO2 involved, the solution being used to absorb the SO2 and the particular equipment used in the absorption tower. Is it clear, everybody? Just tell me in the comment section. Are you able to follow this? The next important topic that we are going to discuss is National Financial Reporting Authority. Now you will say, sir, why you are taking this particular topic? Recently it was in news because there has been a significant amount of corporate frauds, financial frauds, and with respect to these frauds, It is, yes, Ashish, you are right. It is NO2. With respect to these frauds, we have a mechanism, we have an infrastructure which can report about these frauds preemptively, and these frauds can be avoided. Bharat, you will be getting the PDF on my personal Telegram channel on BYJU'S exam prep, that is Electrical by Ashutosh Sir, after this session. The National Financial Reporting Authority (NFRA) is a body constituted under the provisions of Section 132 of the Companies Act 2013. The constitution of this authority is effective from 1st of October 2018. So this body came into effect, National Financial Reporting Authority. The aim of the central government in this regard appears to be setting up of a separate and independent regulatory body to assist in the framing and enforcement of legislation to accounting and auditing and improving investor and public confidence in the financial reporting entity. Now, there is one important dimension of discussion also. The basic idea of setting up such a body is to provide a separate and independent regulatory mechanism. But in the same session, I will tell you what are the problems, why National Financial Reporting Authority has not been that much effective to avoid big corporate frauds. Supposedly, the need of this authority arose as a response to various corporate scams in recent times. The Companies Act requires the NFRA to have a chairperson who will be appointed by the central government. Now, this is the problem. Are you able to follow this? This much understanding you should have. On one hand, you are saying that this should be a separate and independent regulatory authority. On the other hand, the chairperson is being appointed by the central government. Let me give you a simple idea for your interviews in the UPSC and in the PSUs. If you want to have any accountable and responsible body, the first and the foremost requirement is that that particular body or the organization should be independent. Especially from bureaucratic and political interference. Otherwise, it is not going to give you the actual result which you require. So the central government is going to appoint the chairperson and maximum of 15 members. This can be asked in your UPSC Engineering Services examination. The appointment of such chairperson and the members are subject to the following qualifications. What are the qualifications? Number one, they should be having an expertise in accountancy, auditing and finance or law. Second, they are required to make a declaration to the central government that there is no conflict of interest or lack of independence in their appointment. Now, this is a contradictory statement. On one hand, you are saying it should be independent, and on the other hand, you are saying that there should be no conflict or independence issue, whereas the very appointment of the chairperson and the maximum of 15 members is being taken care by the central government. All the members, including the chairperson, who are in full-time employment should not be associated with any audit firm, including related consultancy firms, during their term of office and 2 years after their term. The NFRA has the following responsibilities. Number one, to make recommendations on the foundation and laying down of accounting and auditing policies and standards. So it means it works in the policy making direction also, to avoid the corporate scams. Monitor and enforce the compliance of the accounting standards and auditing standards. Next, oversee the quality of service of the professionals such as auditors, CFOs, etc. CFO means Chief Financial Officers, and suggest measures required for improvement in the quality of service. And last one, perform such other functions related to the above. The NFRA has the following powers. Number one, to investigate the matters of professional or other misconduct committed by a prescribed class of CA firms or CAs. No other authority can initiate or continue proceedings where, this is very important, if NFRA initiate some proceedings, no other body can investigate. Such an investigation can be initiated either suo moto. Suo moto means automatically without any external pressure. Suo motu means even if somebody does not ask for it, suo motu means automatically it is going to be started, or on a reference made by the central government. The same powers as of a civil court. Now this is something important. This body has same powers as that of a civil court. This can be asked in UPSC in your exams. Under the Code of Criminal Procedures 1908, in respect of the suit involving the following matters: number 1, discovery and production of books of account and other documents at such place and time as may be specified by the NFRA, summoning and enforcing the attendance of persons and examining them under oath, inspection of any books, registers and other documents of any person at any place, issuing commissions for the examination of witness or documents. NFRA has the powers to investigate and also conduct quality reviews for a certain prescribed class of companies. While the draft NFRA rules have not been prescribed yet, they would include the following class of companies if implemented. And what is this? Let us try to understand. Now this is something which can be asked in UPSC. Number 1, companies listed in India. Unlisted companies. Now when it comes to unlisted companies, what is the criteria? What are those companies which are unlisted and which can be charged or proceedings can be started by NFRA? The net worth is more than 500 crore. Paid up capital is more than 500 crore. Annual turnover is greater than 1000 crore. And companies whose securities are listed outside India. But there are some exceptions also. What are those exceptions? The above restrictions of companies will not apply where a reference is made by the central government or any regulator to the NFRA to conduct such an investigation. And the NFRA by itself decides to conduct an investigation in the public interest. Is it clear, everybody? Just tell me in the comment section. Ashish is saying video fas raha hai. Everybody just tell me in the comment section. At my side it is okay. I think there is some internet issue. Just give me a moment. Now it is okay. Ashish, now it is okay. Now I think it is okay. Yes, Ashish, now it is okay. Now see, this is something which can directly come into your examination. What is this? Zaporizhia. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Now it is not sticking. Now it is okay. There was some internet fluctuation. Now it is over now. Now it is okay, na? Pancham. Now it is okay. Yes. So this particular name can be asked in your examination because it is something weird, but it is very important, and recently it was in news. Because this nuclear power plant, it belongs to Ukraine, and what happens on 3rd of March, the Russian forces attacked the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant in Anordar, a small city in southern Ukraine. The plant was shelled by Russian troops throughout the night, damaging the site and injuring the people. Are you getting this? And if you are aware, very recently there was anniversary for atomic nuclear attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and that is the reason around the same time this thing happened, and that is why it was very much in the news and it can be asked in your exams. According to the State Nuclear Regulatory Inspectorate of Ukraine, Ukraine's nuclear regulatory body, it was initially unclear how safety systems were impacted, and additional assessment this. Let us talk about the last important issue for today's session, that is gender Samadh. What is this? Let us try to understand. Ashish, now it is okay, I think. Still it is fluctuating. From my side, I think it is okay. This is the last topic for discussion, that is gender samvad. What is this? Let us try to understand. With over 60 million women mobilized to be the part of one of India's largest livelihood programs, that is the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, which is renamed as National Rural Livelihood Mission, DAY NRLM. It holds great promise for advancing women's socio-economic empowerment by organizing them into self-help groups and the federations for rural poor. Let me just give you some idea what is this self-help groups. See, basically what they are doing, whenever we want to execute a government policy in the remote rural areas, one of the most important challenges is how to get the beneficiaries into that policy. So what is the best way? If you want the beneficiary, the person who is going to be benefited, if anyhow you can incorporate those beneficiary in the part of execution of that policy itself, then the beneficiary will be more interested in executing, because he is getting the advantage or the benefit of that, and he or she has a feeling that they have the stakes or they are the real stakeholders in that government policy. With this idea, the concept of self-help groups is incorporated. In general, 8 or 8+ women groups are formed, and they work at the very grassroots level to execute various government policies in the remote rural areas. Because you know, we have the shortage of manpower, skill set, and the government machinery, everything, resources, we have a crunch when it comes to the rural. The actual beneficiaries, they are incorporated in the execution part at the grassroots level, so that they can get the real benefit. Is it clear, everybody? Again, there is a fluctuation, I think. So there is some internet issue. Just give me a moment. Again, it is okay. Are you getting the concept of this self-help groups? Not only are these platforms facilitate financial opportunities and livelihood support service for women, but they have also become an extended arm for, that is what I am saying, an extended arm for governance to demand accountability from and build linkages with mainstream institutions. They also hold stories of hundreds and thousands of women, stories of hope, resilience, raising voice, getting redress, and many best practices on how institutions of poor women can help them ensure access to their rights and the entitlements. So it's all about storytelling, how you can replicate or reflect upon the success stories of some particular self-help group of the women in the rural areas, so that other people are also able to follow that. Now, it is a kind of bi-monthly webinar. And this Samvad provides states with opportunities to understand the best practices initiative that other states have been undertaking to improve women's agencies, that is facilitating women's access to land rights, their engagement in farmer producer organizations, that is FPOs, and best practices around various government programs like FNHW, and establishing strong institutions for public service delivery in protecting and providing redress to vulnerable groups within the women. For example, practices against witch hunting. This is some kind of weird thing happening even today's rural areas. You might be laughing at it, but this is a harsh reality where women are subjected to domination. Understanding the gender interventions globally, engage with the experts and other colleagues on suggestions regarding how to handle issues, implementation barriers. Is it clear, everybody? I think there is some internet issue, so let us stop here. And let us meet in the next week, next Sunday, and we'll be meeting 11 a.m. in the morning, and we'll be discussing the next week important current affairs for your exams and interviews. Thank you so much for joining me live in the discussion. Take care of yourself. Stay connected. Best wishes. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.